This is wartime. They are the law here. The Shaolin Temple is in their territory. We have to be very careful.
Their territory? This is our land. They took it over by force.
Are you black, are you bleak, are you bleached? Are you sure of the things that you keep? Like the depths and the heights of the knowledge that you reach. Are you secured in your rights or you breach? Ain't de jure in the rights that you seek? Not entitled to the inheritance left for the meek or the Moors. You want more? The blood that was dripped or the sweat through the pores. Identity was stripped already on the shores. We're the slave ships, I'm a Washington Moore. Came on the spaceships, but you don't want what's yours. Now Tory Davis is a metaphor. Metaphor, simile. A simulation to do it simply. You a corporate artificial entity. Civilized to more tools, not a human being. Ask yourself this question.
With regard to white and the status of white, keep in mind Mustafa Hefni, the Egyptian, who was mad that his passport said white and he wanted to be identified as black.
Yes.
For all the people who want proof or whatever like that, more say white means we're not white and all that stuff. Well, okay, how about the dark-skinned Egyptian who looks darker than Sankofa and Saneder and darker than everybody else on there, talking about they're black, and his passport said he was white when he came over here. And he went to court to fight for them to change it to black.
Right.
Like a dummy. And he wasn't checking the play, realizing that the only reason why they're trying to shut him up is because he let the cat out the bag to the dummies in North America who don't read. Proving everything that the Moor's been saying for the past how much ever long is true. That white is a status, it's not skin complexion. How do you know that? Because there's an Egyptian by the name of Mustafa Hefni who went to court in the United States because his passport said he was white, but he looked like everybody on House of Consciousness. Same complexion as them, darker than some of them, but he wasn't called black. He was called white. Mustafa Hefni. It's on the record. So don't debate us. Go debate Mustafa Hefni about why he's white. Forget the fact that he was fighting to be black. Debate the fact that he was classified as white, and ask yourself why was he classified as white when he doesn't look, according to what you guys say, white. He doesn't look like a white person.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Mustafa Hefni. As you can see, I'm a black man, but I'm classified as white according to Directive number 15 of the Office of Management and Budget. I'm an Egyptian Nubian and naturalized American citizen. I was a bilingual resource teacher with the Wayne County Regional Education Service Agency in Wayne, Michigan, until I indicated that I am black on the employment records of this agency. This was the end of my happiness. The following is the story of my 25 years of persecution and struggle since I stated on the employment records of the above agency that I am black. Before I start this story, I would like to point out that last month, on June 29, 2012, I filed a complaint with the UN Office of Human Rights against the US government. The purpose of this complaint was to ask the United Nations to help me get reclassified as a black person. To view this letter, go to Mustafa, middle initial A, Hefni on Facebook. On June 29, 2012, I also wrote a letter to President Obama asking him to give me the black classification in an out-of-court settlement.
And as you know, in April, we announced that we were reviewing our position on the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And today I can announce that the United States is lending its support to this declaration. The aspirations it affirms, including the respect for the institutions and rich cultures of Native peoples, are one we must always seek to fulfill. And we're releasing a more detailed statement about U.S. support for the Declaration and our ongoing work in Indian country. But I want to be clear. What matters far more than words, what matters far more than any resolution or declaration, are actions to match those words. And that's what this conference is about. That's what this conference is about. That's the standard I expect my administration to be held to. So we're making progress. We're moving forward. And what I hope is that we are seeing a turning point in the relationship between our nations. The truth is, for a long time, Native Americans were implicitly told that they had a choice to make. By virtue of the long-standing failure to tackle wrenching problems in Indian country, it seemed as though you had to either abandon your heritage or accept a lesser lot in life. But there was no way to be a successful part of America and a proud Native American. But we know this is a false choice. To accept it is to believe that we can't and won't do better. And I don't accept that. I know there's not a single person in this room who accepts that either. We know that ultimately this is not just a matter of legislation, not just a matter of policy. It's a matter of whether we're going to live up to our basic values. It's a matter of upholding an ideal that has always defined who we are as Americans. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. That's why we're here. That's what we're called to do, and I'm confident that if we keep up our efforts, that if we continue to work together, that we will live up to this simple motto and we will achieve a brighter future for the first Americans and for all Americans. So thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
To view this letter, also go to Mustafa A. Hafni on Facebook. In June also, I posted an electronic petition on Facebook. To sign this petition or to view it, please go to the electronic petition. This is the story of my 25 years of persecution and struggle. I immigrated to the U.S. in 1978 and became a U.S. citizen in 1985. I was a bilingual resource teacher with the Wayne County Regional Education Service Agency, which will, from this point on, be referred to as Wayne County RESA, starting 1981. In 1987, the Wayne County RESA sent all employees a form called the Race Ethnic Identification Card. We were requested to indicate our race on this card. I indicated that I was black. A short while later, the Director of Human Resources sent me a letter threatening me that I would be terminated and my career would be destroyed if I did not change my classification on this card from black to white. This letter was copied to the superintendent, Dr. William Simmons. To view this letter, go to Mustafa A. Hafni on Facebook. Additionally, a white top administrator of this agency, initial S, told me that if I said that I am black again, no one would hire me. And if hired, I would be running from one job to another for the rest of my life. I disclosed the name of this top administrator in my letter of June 14, 1989 to the U.S. Attorney General. My powerful former employer appeared to continue to follow up on these threats to this day. I was severely harassed, ridiculed, humiliated, denied promotions twice, and I was fired 5 times. I have lost my professional career, my house, my car, and I was forced to file for bankruptcy. 3 years ago, I was working a menial job doing door-to-door sales, and Wayne County RESA applied pressure on my employer to fire me. I had quit, avoiding the trauma of being fired for a 6th time. It's important to point out that even though Wayne County RESA provides support and consultant services to Wayne County, which is 30% black, the superintendent was white, his 4 associate superintendents were white, and 95% of the administrators and consultants were white. I filed 4 complaints with the teachers union, but the union refused to file grievances
and the President of the Union, who is white, was promoted to the position of Director of Labor Relations. I filed 2 EEOC discrimination charges, but my powerful former employer used its high-level connections to get them dismissed. Between 1989 and 1991, I filed 5 complaints with the U.S. Attorney General, Mr. Richard Thornburg, but my powerful former employer used its high-level connections to block them, so they were never investigated. I have 20 pages of information documenting the violations of my rights. When I wrote to the U.S. Attorney General, I expected his office to write back to me, asking for my information and evidence. However, I never heard from his office and no investigation was conducted. In 1992, I filed a lawsuit against Wayne County RISA, but it was dismissed. In 1994, I filed another lawsuit against Wayne County RISA, and it was settled out of court. In 1994, I resigned. In 1997, I filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government, requesting black classification and declaratory judgment that classifying me as white violates my constitutional and civil rights. I also asked for unspecified financial damages. In 1996, I requested that Wayne State University in Detroit consider me for a faculty position as a black minority, but Wayne State University told me that I am white, and I was not considered for this position. I wrote to Wayne State University, and they wrote back to me regarding this matter 5 times. In 1998, my racial classification case was dismissed without prejudice. The court order stated, plaintiff may file a new action once standing is established, end quote. End quote, I'm sorry. This means that the case is still open. To view this court order, go to Mustafa A. Hafni on Facebook. In 1999, I applied for a teaching position with the Detroit Public Schools and put on the application that I am black. I had a successful job interview and I was approved for 2 different positions, bilingual teacher and homeroom teacher. I did not get either position due to pressure from my powerful former employer and due to the fact that I put on the application that I am black. Between 2003 and 2004, I sent the U.S. government's attorney for my classification case, Ms. Jennifer Kaplan, 7 letters proposing an out-of-court settlement in which I get no money or anything else except for the black classification.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
I also stated in these 7 letters that I had compromised on everything, but I could not compromise on the black classification since it was a matter of principle to me. I never heard back from Attorney Kaplan in response to any of my 7 letters. Between 2005 and 2009, I sent 5 letters to my congressman, Mr. John Conyers. In these letters, I asked him to do 2 things: to speak to the President of the United States about an out-of-court settlement in which I would receive the black classification only, and to introduce a bill in Congress to include the Nubians in the definition of black person found in Directive number 15 of the Office of Management and Budget.
Hell no, no, to the no, no, to the no, 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 no.
Congressman Conyers refused to help me. In 2010 and 2011, the Reverend Dr. Jerry Massey, who headed a coalition of 30 churches that support me, sent Congressman Conyers 2 letters asking him to do the same 2 things I asked him to do, but Congressman Conyers did nothing. This has been the story of my 25 years of persecution and struggle. Research shows that humanity originated in Africa. Research shows that the black race is the oldest race and that the white race is the youngest. Research shows that all races have evolved from the black race through mutation, gene flow, genetic drift, and recombination. Research shows that civilization originated in Africa. Research shows that the knowledge of the black people of ancient Egypt has influenced and has provided the foundation for all subsequent human knowledge. As a black man and as an African, I am proud of this heritage. Classifying me as a white man takes away my black pride, my black heritage, and my strong black identity. To conclude, even though I have 2 professional certificates and a PhD, I am unemployed and unemployable in professional positions because I want to be classified black, even though I was severely harassed, ridiculed, humiliated, denied promotions twice, fired 5 times, lost my professional career, my house, car, and was forced to file for bankruptcy. I did not give up, and I will not give up, because this is a matter of principle to me. Thank you for listening.
I ain't black, said the man to the kettle. Ruby heart with some emeralds for the bezel. Can't settle. We ascending to that next level. On the way up, I say peace, devil. My metal is verbs and nouns. Peace Apollo, catch me in Rio, bending them sounds. Got the soul by the pound, let it cook for a while. Speaker serving that loud. Now you loving our style. Magic cow like Houdini with a beanie, really affairs. And the graffiti in the city, hieroglyphics, you dig? Asleep, sipping Kool-Aid, eating ribs awake. The Moors back, putting together the pyramids, my lord. Last shall be first if I'm recalling. If this ain't prophecy, then we living in what you call it. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice is the calling. You witnessing the rise of the fallen, what up? Woo. In the Chi-Town, they saying what up? What up? What up? Reporting live from the rich, and we saying what up?
I remember as a child that if you called anybody black, because they were trying to get that started, if you called anybody black, all those people were getting mad. Don't call me black. They were ready to fight. Older people. And then I remember James Brown coming in with the song Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud during the 70s. And it caught on, and next thing you know, we were black people. And they put it on the status, on the, you know, on the records, their records. And about 20 years later, we became African Americans. And I was wondering why we're the only one that's changing our, you know, our status all the time. It's every 20 years. There's always something different.
Who is black? Race is a social construct. You are who you say that you are.
Liberties, Pennsylvania, 92% white. Danielle felt like she didn't belong in the only world she knew.
It was this quiet ignoring that I often felt as though people just didn't really want to mess with me. You know, they really didn't, you know, you're good, stay over there.
How'd you get through?
I left school. I stopped going.
You dropped out.
I didn't officially drop out. They sent a tutor to my house, and that's how I finished my junior year.
She got through that year and the next, graduated and entered Temple University, where she studied for her master's degree in African American Studies. She says she had a deep desire to connect with her blackness.
My family is very important to me. My white family is who I grew up around, but even with them, I feel as though I'm black. I'm not the same as them, and I've always felt that way. I know where I feel most comfortable and the way that I want to identify. And the beating that's in me is blackness. It's blackness, there's no question about it.
Who is black?
Race is a social construct. You are who you say that you are.
Almost 3 years ago, I decided to move from Chicago to Iowa to escape the black community. I decided the lifestyle of the white community in Iowa was the way I wanted to live. I don't care for the black race. I think the white race is more educated, civilized, and sophisticated. I'm embarrassed to be black. I want the white race to embrace me and treat me as if I was white, because I think and I act white. My family thinks that I should be ashamed of myself because I think and I act white. but I'm not going to be who they want me to be. Because when I'm with them, I have to act ghetto, and I hate it. My husband and my cousins think that I have a white sugar daddy, but I don't. He's just a good friend that takes care of me. I think white men are better providers, and if I was with one, I would have a different life.
Who is black?
Race is a social construct. You are who you say that you are.
So, World Star Hip Hop, MySpace, YouTube, dumb shit. Drank it 3 o'clock in the morning, dumb shit. You see the ice. You been seeing the ice, now you getting it up close and personal. The ice. This ain't no middle of the mile shit. Short butt shit. Stupid Jacqueline Michael Myers chain. Hello Halloween. Merry Christmas. This 10K. Do I gotta show you? Do I gotta show you? This is the 10K. This ain't middle of the mile shit. This ain't middle of the mile shit. This that real custom shit. Custom shit, everything. Let's check out the Piggly Wigglies. Fresh imported from Brazil. I have had them, got them in, and then I lost them, and I just found them. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. I stay with some seasoning sauce. Seasoning sauce, it's been staying on deck. Stay on top of pork chops. We over here in East Brazilian. We just got this fixed. Just fixed this up. Just got a new fly swatter from East Japan. You know what I'm saying? Ben had this. You think this had a little bit on around? I bought this from Mike Tyson before he sold his house to Michael Jackson and them.
Who is black?
Race is a social construct. You are who you say that you are.
I got there at the airport. The family was there to pick me up. So the grandma saw me. And this is the first thing that she said after she said hola, right? She goes, pero tú no eres negra, negra, negra. Eres morena. For those who speak Spanish, you know what that means. But for my English speakers, she basically means I'm not really black, black, black. A dark, like a light-skinned black. Or I'm tan. Or, you know what I mean? It's not the connotation of the negra, negra. So in her mind, morena versus negra is like a different level, right? So I was like, oh, okay, all right, I see where this is. All right. After that, I went to the house. Everything was normal. Everything was fine. And then little by little, the little heads of not racism, but something started showing. They had this thing called La Hoguera de San Juan, which is some kind of bonfire that they have to some kind of, I don't know, it's some kind of festivity that they were having. And so I'm going and I'm like, I'm a young person, so, I see all these other young people, and no one, and I mean nobody, but nobody, like from Adam, approached me. Nobody. I might as well have been a gnat flying around the fire. Ghost. Like, nobody. I was like, dang, I'm the only black person here, and like nobody's approaching me, none of the young people. So the grandmother of the family, who I thought was gonna be like mean mugging, she came up to me, you guys, and check this out. She took my arm and she linked my arm with hers, and she kept me by her side the entire time. When I was with her, like, some of the adults came and met me and stuff. But at one point I was just like, oh, I want to go go over there. So I went over to this like side where I could see over into the town, and I just started crying, you guys. I was bawling. Like, I was like, I didn't expect this to happen. I was having myself a little pity party.
What's wrong with Shaq? Saw the title, wonder what's wrong with Mike. Lesbian stole the arm. What's wrong with Dykes? What's wrong today? What's wrong yesterday? What's wrong with truth? Liars got nothing to say. Nothing. Spirits and bottles is what's wrong with booze. No code of the streets is what's wrong with crews. Too much bias is what's wrong with news. It's not the same leather is what's wrong with shoes. I could get shot is what's wrong with blues. Knowledge as a nationality is what's wrong with Jews. You're not Spanish is what's wrong with Negro. You're brown is what's wrong with black. sex taught is what's wrong with schools. Babies having babies pulling out their hair, but he's the man of the house in a baby chair. Following myths is what's wrong with thugs. You're killing people is what's wrong with selling drugs. What's wrong with man? What's wrong with maps? That's not hip hop, is what's wrong with rap. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? You're messing with swine and bird that give the flu. They give the virus and got no cure. Got you taking bait with no law. I'm the white man. What's wrong with y'all? Niggas are monkeys with thinking stall. Blacks are deaf people, and that's a fact with no volition. Is why they act the way they do. Think backwards and forward too. Pioneer clothes, that's why you have an awkward view. What's wrong with me? I chill with Jupiter and Esau. Who's more conscious than cooling black people?
I told the Moors they didn't want it. I told the Moors they didn't want it. I told the Moors they didn't want it.
Oh no!
Oh no!
What you ask for. Cause now you gonna get it.
Boy, if you don't get... I have to say this, because I know our spirit and our emotions get stirred. I'm not against nobody on the panel. I'm with everybody on the panel. I'm not diametrically opposed to anybody on the panel. I agree with everything my brother said about revolutionaryism. So let me ask you guys a few questions. We're in the South. We're in the heart of the South right now. Who fishes? Who knows how to fish? Hands down. Who knows how to hunt? Less hands. Hands down. Who shoots on a regular basis, meaning once or twice weekly? Hands down. Now you see how many hands? Who farms or grows their own food right now? Hands down. You ain't ready to oppose nothing. You are as a part of this system as any white person gentrifying in this city. And you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I've lived in this neighborhood long enough to know when 2 out of every 5 yards had a garden in the back. I'm old enough to know when the Muslim community was the strongest security force and their own food force in this community. Black people, I love you, and I love you enough to tell you, you ain't ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself. You don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them. You don't prep your own meat. You don't own your own land. You don't have a seed growing in your window. So when you think about revolutionaryism and you think about fighting and dying in the street, you ain't shit if you can't feed your children. You ain't nothing if you can't teach your children to hunt. I've been hearing this revolutionary talk all my life. All my life, I've been seeing leaders get before me and tell me how much of a strong warrior. And just like the United States Army, just like the military, I've seen their words send black boys off to die in the street fighting and arguing with police. You have no win. He was innocent and he got 19 years. His mama couldn't afford the right lawyer. His dad didn't know a senator. You have no wins. How many of you practice a martial art today? Who practices a martial art today? How many boys are practicing a martial art in your community today? Today. That's what I'm saying. We not ready to fight. You say fight back, fight the police. The police are trained to shoot. They're trained in martial combat. We're not. What are we going to do? Now, I'm not saying give up. I'm not saying you can't train yourself. But what I'm saying is, if you're not training every week, if you're not shooting every week, if you're not knowing how to grow your own food, arguing with me and arguing with the police ain't going to do nothing. Because if we all leave right now, if we all leave right now and we got a speeding ticket, we ain't all going to agree not to pay it. You understand what I'm saying? I agree we still slaves. I'm telling you right now today, Malcolm said by any means necessary. by any means necessary. And we're talking about children. We're talking about young men. These boys aren't even intelligent enough yet not to know what girl not to like. They're not even intelligent enough yet not to know how to, I always should have a condom. They're not even intelligent enough yet to know not to argue with their teachers. Don't send these babies off to die because you didn't die when you was 21. Don't you send these babies off to die because you feel like you missed the 60s and the 70s.
Nationality is the key. It's the order of the day. Okay? Nationality is the key. Nationality is the key. Nationality is the order of the day. Nationality is the order of the day. Nationality is key. Nationality is key. Nationality is key. Without a nationality, you are dead. They will exile you. Prophet Noble Drew Ali spoke on this. He spoke on, if you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. The Black Lives Matter movement is not the solution. Okay? Selling dope is not the solution. And another thing, I heard a guy the other day say, well, people just need to comply. These niggas just need to comply with the police when they get pulled over. That's bullshit as well, because 99.9% of the guys that were so-called murdered by these police wasn't armed or wasn't doing anything. They totally didn't resist. Okay? But again, nationality is the key. It is the order of the day. You got people from China, they know they are Chinese. Ask them. I want y'all to do an experiment. I do it all the time. I see foreigners, and I walk right up to them. You know, like in the stores, the ones that's on our land, that's operating, got the big booming establishments. I walk up to them all the time and ask them, what's your nationality? Where you from? They answer. Sometimes they're kind of hesitant because they may think that, I'm just a regular nigga maybe, and they may feel suspect. But majority of the times they always answer. Okay. Ask a European. This is some homework for y'all. Ask a European, whether it's a friend, whether it's a co-worker, whomever it may be. Next time you see a European, ask them, where are your ancestors from? Okay? And ask them, are they really white? And ask them where their ancestors are from. And watch the answer you get. Normally, immediately, you'll get the landmass in which their ancestors are from. Oh, Ireland. I'm Irish. Oh, I'm Scottish. I'm German. I'm Italian. You'll get that from them, okay? Now, they'll say that they're white. They'll say that. But immediately, if you ask them about nationality, they'll tell you this, okay? And also ask them, do they have any land? Ask them this. This is homework for you. Ask them, do they have any land? Okay? The reason I'm telling you guys to do this because you'll see how far they are in front of you in terms of establishment. We're dealing with estate, finance, and mental capacity, okay? Nationality is the key, people. Islam.
I'm a more American boy. I'm navigating through the seas, you better know it. I'm a more American boy. I'm navigating the 7 seas, you better know it. I'm a more American boy. I'm navigating through the seas, you better know it. I'm a more American boy. I'm navigating the 7 seas, you better know it. I'm a more Morse American boy. I'm navigating through the seas, you better know it. I'm a Morse American boy. I'm navigating the 7 seas, you better know it.
No offense to you people, but it's hard being black, man.